welcome. Nice to see you. Garrett, hey Garrett, great to have you here today. Thank you for joining us. Jackie, welcome. Thank you for being here. And Marianne, hi Marianne. Good to see you. Happy Friday. Thank you for being here. Welcome. Great to have you here this morning. And if you're here on Facebook, type into the chat and let me know that you're here. And I'm going to go on Facebook and I'm going to stream this to my personal Facebook if I can do it really quick here. There we are. And we're going to share that to daily motivation. Cool. Sandra, good morning. Jerry, hi Jerry. Good to see you, Jerry. Welcome. All right, well, let's get the recording started. Good morning. This is Eric Lofholm. I want to welcome all of you to the Continuous Sales Improvement Daily Podcast. We're on episode number 25, and I'm thrilled that you've made the decision to join me here this morning to put yourself in the best mindset possible so you can have a fantastic Friday, September 23rd. If you're right-handed, take your right hand. If you're left-handed, take your left hand. Pat yourself on the back and tell yourself, great job for being here this morning. Type into the chat, today is a great day. Today is a great day. So today's topic is called Change Your Story, Change Your Life. Change your story, change your life. And I have one idea for you today, and that is to observe your story. Observe your stories. And one of the ways that our brain works and we are as human beings is we create stories about stuff. Why that is, I have no idea, but that's just what we do. So you have a financial story. You, me, all of us, we have a story about money. And if we're good with money or not so good, or we're a great investor or we're not an investor, or we spend too much, or we're a great saver, or a fill in the blank. So what you do, not now, but later, just take some quiet time, get out your pen or get out your computer and type it and write down what is your financial / money story. And take a look at it. And then ask yourself, I'm living into this money story. Is this creating what I want? You might look at your money story and go, you know what? I've been telling myself I'm not good with money my whole life, and I'm not where I want to be financially. Maybe it's because of my story. You have a relationship story, and we have lots of relationships. We have our romantic relationship. Most of us probably just one. Some people, maybe they try to juggle more than one. I don't know how that works, but that's fine. So a relationship, romantic story. If you have children or grandchildren, you have a story about your relationship with your children or grandchildren. If your parents are still alive, or even if they're not alive. Your work relationships, the people you work for, or the people that work for you, or the people you work with. Your partnerships in business, if you have any of those. So you get out your pen, you observe your relationship story or stories, and you write it down, and you take a look. And you go, okay, is this creating what I want? And if it's not, you just get out the pen and you write a new story. Your fitness story. What is your story about your fitness? Your career story. What is your story about your work or your career or your job or your retirement if you're retired? Your selling story. People are attracted to me primarily because they want to make more sales. I'm the make more sales guy. So you have a story about selling. Well, I'm okay at selling. I'm average. I'm not good. I don't like sales. I need to sell more, but I'm not good at it. I love sales. I'm great at it. Your effort story. I'm inconsistent. I'm consistent. I'm a master of action. I am a procrastinator. So what you do is you get out your pen or get on your computer and you type it and you write down your story, and understand that the story gets created in the moment. So I want to tell you a story about my son, Brandon. He's in college now, but back when he was a freshman in high school, many years ago, he came home during his first week of being a high school freshman, and he announced to me, "Dad, I'm getting a C in Spanish this semester." I said, "Brandon, we're in the first week." He goes, "I know it. I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it. I'm getting a C." And he was like adamant. And so I did what I do with clients with him. And I created it different for him. And I said, "Okay, I understand you're getting a C. And what can we do now, since we're in the beginning of the semester? What can we do to get an A or a B?" And we explored that together. And so here are some of the things we came up with. I could go to the teacher and let the teacher know I'm having a hard time understanding. I could hire a tutor, meaning Dad could hire him a tutor, which that we did actually do that. I could go watch Spanish videos on YouTube. I could get a study buddy, and we came up with all the stuff. And he got a B. And he actually could have got an A if he really wanted to. But this is what we do, guys. This is your life, right? We declare we're getting a C in Spanish, except we say, every time I go on a diet, I always cheat on my diet. I never hit my goal weight. Or I have a hard time hitting my sales quota, or fill in the blank. So Brandon changed his story and he got a different grade in Spanish. So what if you changed your story? One of my star clients, her name is Judy O'Higgins. And I was teaching this class one time. Judy was in the class, and part of the class, you had to get up in front of the room and read your goals to us. It wasn't a public speaking class, but I just thought it'd be a good idea if people got up to the front of the room and publicly declared their goals. So everybody takes turns, and it's Judy's turn, and she gets up there and she does her goals like everybody else. Except with Judy, she has a poise to her. She has a presence when she speaks. And so when Judy was done, she was still standing at the front of the room, and I coached her a little bit. And I said, "Judy, do you know that you're a naturally gifted public speaker?" And that was like shocking to her. It was like surprising. No one had ever told her that. And she had never thought of herself as a public speaker. And she's phenomenal at public speaking. And so this is years ago, and I talked to her on a coaching call this week, and I think she had 3 group presentations, public speeches that she's doing to grow her business that I was coaching her around. I'm like, "Judy, remember years ago when I told you you're a naturally gifted public speaker? And now look at you. It's a core part of your business." Okay, next story. This is about another one of my star clients who I haven't talked about in years because I don't think he's in the loan business anymore. His career went in a different direction, but he was a star loan officer. Well, he was good when I met him, and I helped him become a star. His name is Joey Asterbaum. And in our coaching, Joey said something that a lot of clients tell me. He said, "Eric, I'm not good at time management." I'm like, "Okay, Joey, that's a story. It's not wrong. It's just a story. And if you're going to declare you're not good at time management, you're going to live into that story, Joey, and you're going to look for evidence that you're not good at time management." Like if you say, "Every time I go on a diet, I cheat," then you're going to look for evidence of that. And you're going to find that. If you say, "I have a hard time making my prospecting calls," then you're going to look for evidence and you're going to find that. You get what you focus on. So I says, "Joey, listen, stop saying you're not good at time management." He's like, "All right, Eric, what should I say?" I said, "Here's a couple options." I said, "Start saying each day I get better and better at time management." And by the way, guys, that Language pattern works for all kinds of things. Each day I'm getting better and better at selling. Each day I'm getting better and better at forgiveness. Each day I'm getting better and better at planning my day and writing. Each day I'm getting better and better at fill in the blank. So one language pattern that's powerful, add on to your success tool belt. Each day I'm getting better and better at, in this case, time management. I said, but Joey, if you really want to go for it, start declaring you're a master of time management. Now, the first day he declares that, he's not going to go from not good to a master, snap your fingers, but he can declare he's a master and he can live into the story that he's a master of time management. And Joey's a very positive kind of person. And so he started telling himself again and again and again and again and again, I'm a master of time management. I'm a master of time management. The law of belief is whatever you tell yourself over and over and over again, you'll eventually believe. So a couple months later, he's meeting with this real estate agent. He's the loan officer. He does loans for the clients of real estate agents. So he's working with this loan officer or this realtor, and the realtor says to him, Joey, man, you get so much done. How do you do it? Joey, how are you so productive? And here's what came out of Joey's mouth without him even thinking about it, guys. He goes, it's actually not that hard because I'm a master of time management. Those words got embedded into his subconscious mind. And it just naturally came out. He started taking on that as his self-image. If you are not good with money and you take on the identity that you're a great investor, your whole world will change. If you're like, I'm average at sales, and you're like, I'm going to become a master of selling. Here's one of the most powerful things you could do. Take on the identity that you're going to be one of my top clients ever. Eric, I'm going to be one of your greatest success stories, or better yet, Eric, I'm going to be the greatest success story you've ever had. And you can just choose that right now. Your whole world will change. So the last story, it's one of my favorite stories. And on a side note, I just completed a class yesterday on how to make the fourth quarter your best quarter ever. And the recording's up at this website, www.hubpagereplay.com. 2 hours of content, guys, to get you ready, coaching you to have a great fourth quarter. It's just sitting up on the web, hubpagereplay.com. And you guys can check that out. I'll just pull that up here on the internet. I'll just show it to you really quick, because this is worth listening to this or watching this over the weekend. I'm going to put this up on the screen. 2 hours of training. This is the page right here. This is class 1, class 2. So just go to Hub Page Replay, Hub, H-U-B, hubpagereplay.com. And you guys can check that out. I also, on a side note, I'm looking for 7 people that want to run with me in the fourth quarter. It's a pay-to-play program. It's very affordable. Reach out to me if you want the details on that. It's starting next Saturday, October 1st, and we're going to sprint for the fourth quarter. So if you want to run with me in the fourth quarter, you want to get the details, let me know, and we can talk about that. Okay, so here's my last story. It's one of my favorite stories, and it's about a woman named Janelle. She's in network marketing. And she came up to me at a seminar and she said, I'm stuck in the Ruby rut. I am stuck in the Ruby rut. Being stuck only occurs in language. So the only way to be stuck is to declare it. So I don't ever say I'm stuck. So because I never say it, I'm never stuck. So if you find yourself saying you're stuck, if you don't want to be stuck, then just language it differently. So anyway, she says, I'm stuck in the Ruby rut. I said, Janelle, that's a promotional level in her company. I go, how long have you been stuck in the Ruby rut? And she said, 12 years. And I said, what's the payoff that you get by living in the story you're stuck in the Ruby rut? And after thinking about it, she said, I get to fly under the radar. Because I'm only a Ruby, not much is expected of me. That's very different than like how I live my life. I live my life saying I'm the greatest sales trainer in the world. Well, that puts me accountable. I have to now deliver on that statement. She doesn't want to do that. So she's like, forget that. She's basically saying, if she was a sales trainer, I'm an average sales trainer, right? She's walking around declaring she's average. By doing that, she didn't have to produce anything. So by saying she's stuck, she's got the alibi built in. It's like, well, what's going on with your results? How did you do in your network marketing business last month? Well, I didn't do much. Well, can you explain that? Yeah, I'm stuck in the ruby rut. Perfect alibi. Doesn't have to do anything. So I said, are you willing to let go of the payoff that you're getting by living in the story of you're stuck in the ruby rut? And she said, yes. So she changed her story. She stopped saying she's stuck in the ruby rut. 4 months later, she went from ruby to emerald to diamond. She double rank advanced, probably doubled her income, started getting a stage time at the conferences. Her whole life changed because she let go of the story. So if you're walking around saying your marriage is average, change your story and say your marriage is extraordinary. If you're walking around going, I can't get myself to get to the gym, change your story and say, I'm consistent at the gym. If you're not producing in sales, you're like, I'm not very good at sales, change your story and say, I'm going to be the greatest success story that Eric Lofholm's ever had. This one call, guys, could completely change your life because you're living into your story. And who's in charge of the story? Obviously, we are. You're in charge of your own story. So you just create a new story. I want you to know I believe in you. I want you to know you have greatness inside of you. I want you to know you have a purpose in life. You have many purposes in life. You have greatness inside of you. So let's go out, guys. Let's have a fantastic Friday. Let's go out and produce. Thank you for joining me today. Ed, have a great day. Marianne, thanks for being here. Natalie, you are an extraordinary human being. I believe in you. Steve, Mr. 250,000. Have a great day. George, the coaching you and I are doing right now is going to produce at least $3 million in revenue for you. Dave, great to see you, Dave. Have a great day. Janice, thanks for being here. Jody, hey, Jody, good to see you. Love your energy, Jody. Janice, have a great day. John in Arizona, thanks for being here. Jim, great to see you as always, Jim. Have a great day today. For my friends on Facebook, thank you for joining me today. Have a great productive day. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.